I can't stop praying. I only
Hello students, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss about the life cycle of Plasmodium. Plasmodium is an organism which is responsible for causing malaria in the host. So basically, malaria is caused by protozoan genus Plasmodium. So Plasmodium is included in one of the genus of the protozoans. So the mosquito which is involved as the vector of passing this disease to from one to another host is named as Anopheles, and it carry the Plasmodium parasite. So we have basically 4 types of Plasmodiums which are responsible for causing malaria. Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium malariae and Plasmodium ovale, out of which only 2 are the main causative agents of malaria. So to begin with, let's start stepwise. The first step is the infected mosquito inject parasite when it bites human. Then after, we have sporozoites in the blood, and then sporozoites travel to liver via blood and take up the residence in hepatocytes. So from now on, the sporocytes travel all through the blood to reach which point? The liver. And it takes residence in the hepatocytes or the cells of the liver. Now, the third step is, in the liver, the sporozoites multiply asexually and become merozoites. The liver cell then bursts out into the blood. It simply means that after the asexual reproduction, the sporozoites give rise to merozoites. And then in the fourth step, in the blood, the merozoite invades erythrocyte and multiply again until the cell bursts. Again, we talk about the step fifth, which is also happening in the blood, that is the cell cycle repeats itself. The merozoite invade RBC, multiply and then burst out, each time causing chill, fever and sweating, which is generally known as the symptoms of malaria. So these 4 to 5 steps are basically happening inside the blood, and that is optional for the parasites, because whenever it wants, it follows the step 4, and then whenever it wants, it follows the step 5th. Now, the trophozoites, you can see as the merozoites infect the RBC, it forms the trophozoite in the blood vessels, and which give rise to schizons containing many merozoites. So basically, what is merozoites? Merozoites are the schizont which are in a group of merozoites. So schizont is defined as the group of merozoites. Now the RBC burst in the blood, releasing merozoite. Now the 6th step is, after asexual cycle, merozoite can invade RBC, and instead of replicating, they develop into sexual form of parasite, that is gametocyte. Again, it is optional for the parasites, because if it wants, then it will replicate further, and if it doesn't want, it will develop into sexual form of parasite. You can say it as a mature form of parasite. And in the next step, the mosquito bites the infected human. It digests gametocyte, which will then allow it to develop into mature sex cell called gametes. Now, the fresh mosquito, which is not containing the parasites already, bites a human and thereby take the gametocytes which have already been produced in the blood of the human beings. Now, for the 8th step, we will see as the male and female gametes enter sporogenous cycle, producing male pathogenic sporozoites. Again, the 9th step covers mosquito, that is female, can infect another human causing malaria. So thereby it takes parasite from one host and then transfer it to the another host. So basically, the life cycle of Plasmodium requires 2 hosts. One is the definitive host, which includes the sexual cycle of the parasite, and the other one is the intermediate host. So when we talk about the sexual cycle, basically the production of gametes take place in the human body. Then the gametes are transferred in the body of the mosquito, or basically you can say the salivary gland of the mosquito. Thereby the fertilization of gametes take place and zygote forms, and then oocyst forms, and then the ruptured oocyst will have the sporozoites in them. And thus how the mosquito is having the sporozoites in their salivary gland, which is injected after to the human beings, causing further infection. Now let's talk about the treatment of malaria. So the treatment includes quinines. It's a group of medicine which can be used judiciously to prevent malaria. The complications which one can see in human body is splenomegaly. It means the inflammation of the spleen, hepatomegaly, inflammation in the liver, pulmonary edema, renal failure, jaundice and high fever. Basically, high fever and chills are the most common clinical manifestation or symptoms, you can say, which can be seen while the infection of Plasmodium. Thank you for listening. If you like the video, do like, share and subscribe. Bye bye.
I can't stop praying.